Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video for the Create mod. This one's a little bit different today. We are taking a look at a farm that I designed, and I wanted to walk you through the design process that I used to figure out how to, make this farm behind me. But this farm makes around 36,000 andesite blocks an hour. As you can see, it's not slow in any way, and it has filled up these chests again, so I guess I'm gonna have to just start voiding some stuff. It uses 9 mechanical presses to compress everything. It's not the most lag friendly on my computer over here, but that's okay. Yeah, it uses quite a bit of resources, nether lava filling, but all you really have to do is fill up this tank with lava. It doesn't really matter how you do it. And then back here we have 6 little units that make the flint. They go into here. Flint comes up through here to this main vault where the cobble creation and flint meet, and then it gets distributed by these 2 arms to the presses, which presses it and then creates the andesite. Okay, now how did I do this? And then once I show you how I do this, I'll show you how to set up the schematic that I uploaded, or will upload in a little bit here. It's not perfect or anything. It's very thrown together real quickly, but this is just the first version, and I wanted to, show you guys what I've been working on. When you think about andesite, there are 2 different ways to make it using the Create mod. We have this version, the diorite plus cobblestone gives you 2 andesite, or you have the Create mod recipe, which is 2 flint, gravel, and some lava compacted, and you get andesite. When I was thinking of building a farm, I was like, I don't particularly want to involve lava because that's a fluid that we're gonna have to pump around. So I just started with this design over here. It's much simpler, and the first step is we needed to make cobblestone, right? That's really simple. Cobblestone right here. And then I was like, well, we need diorite. And diorite can be crafted with nether quartz and cobblestone again. Cobblestone easy. Nether quartz, not so much. So I was looking, and then I found this recipe right here. If you bulk wash soul sand, you can get nether quartz. And you can haunt normal sand to get soul sand. And you know how you can get normal sand is by crushing gravel. And you know how you can get gravel? Cobblestone. So we can essentially use cobblestone to get every single resource that we need for andesite. And I was like, how do I get quartz? Like this little farm right here. This is my little quartz farm that I designed. I can also upload it if you guys want it. It's not too difficult. It's not too complex or anything. It makes quartz pretty fast. It's not super efficient or anything, but it does in fact make quartz. So we have a cobble gen right here, much compactor than the one I used in my single player world. The lava or the water gets waterlogged on the drills so that it takes up less space. And then the cobble comes down here, gets crushed twice, turned into gravel, and this is the vault that holds the gravel, or no, not gravel, sand. It gets crushed from cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, and then the sand gets haunted down here by these 4 fans, 4 times the speed, and it lets out a stack at a time as to, hopefully make it more efficient. And then once that happens, then it gets washed at 4 times speed down here, and then it gets put on this belt and we get quartz. It also makes gold, but not a lot. Not really important, can't really farm that too well. And then from there, we have these cobble gen, which this one spits out cobble for the diorite, and the diorite gets created with these crafters. And that was where the main problem with this farm is. These crafters are really hard to use with distributing a lot of items at once. I tried to make an efficient method, but I couldn't really come up with one. And so this farm doesn't really work too well. It does work, once the diorite is made by the crafter, it gets outputted into this mixer, and the mixer has cobble in it from the 3rd cobble gen over there, and it gets mixed and turned into andesite. And with the andesite, it's over here. It's not super efficient or anything. And then I went, you know what, why don't I just design one that uses the lava method? And so we came up with this one. Now I wanted to make it modular so that I could add pieces on as I needed them. Like, you see how each flint creation slice is pretty much modular? I did that on purpose, so if I needed, let's say, 2 times more flint, I could just copy all this and paste it here, and then it would make 2 times as much flint. But with where we're at right now, we're at 36,000 an hour with more than enough flint and cobblestone right now. Let me walk you through the design process for this one. So I just started with the gravel creation. We have this really big cobble gen that makes gravel by using these crushing wheels and gets stored in this vault. Oh, that's not. It gets stored in the vault. Anyway, yes, it gets stored in that vault. And then I was like, well, that's section 1 of 3 ingredients. And so I was like, why don't I move to the gravel? And so I made one of these slices and just had it outputting gravel into this belt down here. And it's like, well, that's the gravel. If I need more, then we can add more slices of the gravel creation. Or not gravel, flint creation. And then I decided, well, I need lava somehow. And where is there a lot of lava? In the nether. But this part is pretty optional. If you're going to set this up yourself, all you really need is to fill that tank up. It doesn't matter how you do it. I just have a double bucket filling station out here in the nether with, the infinite hose thing. It's nothing too fancy. And now back in the overworld, once we have all 3 ingredients, a meat here by the vault and the fluid container. There we go. It's full again. Anyway, I'll just let it be full. You see how there's polished andesite in there? If you leave too much andesite, then it starts compressing the blocks and gets polished. Anyway, so you really need a massive item storage for this. We take all the ingredients, we pump lava through all three rows of these, and then we have one arm that distributes the gravel and one arm that distributes the flint, and it does round robin. It goes every other, something like that. Distributes everything, gets compressed, it's dumped out, but there's a smart item filter that only lets the andesite, and if there is compressed andesite or compacted, whatever it's called, polished andesite, it lets that out as well into the storage so that you're not taking out flint or gravel. And yeah, that is pretty much it. It is very efficient. Now, let's talk about the required items. There's a lot of smart items here. There's a lot of brass, and there's a lot of crushing wheels. I tried to make it as survival friendly as I could. If you do build it, you're gonna have to replace these vaults like that, or else they won't work. Let me get the material list over here. Here's the material list. There's not a lot of anything crazy, just the crushing wheels. You gotta get rid of the creative motor because that's what's powering it. Oh, let me show you where to power it once you do get it all set up. Yeah, it's the smart chute, you know, it's gonna take a lot of resources. Okay, right here is where you power everything. This belt gets powered, and if we put a stressometer thing on it and we break that and we look at it really fast, if we take a hand crank, should be able to briefly see how much power it needs. 34,496 is how much stress units of power you will need to power this farm as it is right now. That's with the lava gen and everything. If you don't have the lava gen, you won't need as much, I don't think, but it's very minimal. Most of the stress probably comes from the crushing wheels and the compactors and the grindstones. But yeah, if you want to set it up, let me show you how to do that real quick. So we get our blank schematic and you build it in the world. And let's say you're setting this up like you have never set this up before. So it's just not moving, no nothing. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that the vaults and fluid tanks do not have this little weird corner on them. So you're going to want to replace the middle block on the sides like this and the middle block in the middle of the fluid tank. And then come over to this vault as well. Do both on that one because that one's like a 2x2. And come down here to this one. I don't think this one messed up on me. Oh no, it did. Make sure it's all normal. Okay, once that's done, you're going to want to get some lava, some water, and some cobblestone. It's about 9 or 10 buckets of lava, and what you're going to want to do is replace this lava, or just never have placed it in the first place, on all of these little slices here so that there's no more lava. And then you're going to want to place a row of cobblestone in front of the drills on each slice, so like this, and then you need to waterlog the drills on each slice. It's the same for all of them, so I'll just show you on the big one, but waterlog each slice. And then once you're done with that, you're going to want to place a lava bucket it's like in the middle of 5 blocks. So you have this, and there needs to be 2 on each side. So once this spreads out, we're going to go 1, 2 on each side, and then 1 with 2 on each side. Well, that's close enough, I think. And you're going to want to do that for all of the slices. And then once you have that, then all you need to do is power it and you're good to go. Give it a good output. You know, make sure it has lava in the fluid tank. Oh, the one more thing about this fluid tank, you're just going to want to break all the way down through the middle of it and replace everything. They tend to break sometimes. I don't know why, but they do. Yeah, so with that, it should be ready to go, and you should have a farm that looks like this. If you have any problems, just ask me. I'll try to help you out. But yeah, this is just a little showcase for my farm that I built. Hopefully I can refine it and make it more survival friendly, maybe optimize a few things with the flint, because I think that's where the biggest loss is. But other than that, I think that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, just reach out to me, and it will be uploaded with a link in the description if you want to check it out. So I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day with lots of andesite in your future, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.